Christine Quinn and her husband, Christian Richard Dumontet, have each filed requests for domestic violence restraining orders against each other, days after Dumontet's 2 arrests. In Quinn's request, which was obtained by Access Hollywood on March 27th, the Selling Sons at alum request protection for her and their 2-year-old child, as well as her pets, requesting that the judge order Dumontet to move out of their home, not contact them, and stay away from them in their home, her vehicle, and their child's school. In a declaration within her filing, Quinn claims that on March 18th, she, quote, expressed dissatisfaction with the state of our relationship, including his lack of financial contribution, and what I perceived as a lack of effort he made to be a true partner. Quinn claims he began yelling at her and picking up floral arrangements, some that contain metal rods. She alleges, he began throwing them and their heavy shipping boxes at me. He narrowly missed hitting me with one of the metal rods, but I was struck by one of the boxes he threw. This rampage went on for some time. She further alleges that Dumontet then, quote, threw dog feces at me, and, quote, pulled out his penis and began to urinate on the floor. Quinn claims she yelled at him to stop and locked him out of the bedroom, but allegedly could, quote, hear him continuing to shout and yell, and could hear him smashing and breaking things through the house. It was then that Quinn claims she began making plans for her and their son to leave the next day. She alleged that things escalated on March 19th, claiming, I heard and felt the rush of air from an object hurtling towards me and our son. The next instant, I heard what sounded like glass breaking. I turned to our son and saw that Dumontet had thrown a bag of recyclables, which contained glass, and saw broken glass in our son's hair and on the floor. After a few seconds, our son burst into tears and began screaming. I was concerned about his health and safety. Meanwhile, Dumontet filed his own request for a domestic violence restraining order against his wife, asking the judge to order her to move out and stay away from their home. He also shares his account of their alleged dispute. According to a declaration from his attorney within the filing, which was obtained by Access Hollywood, he claims that the two argued over Quinn's dogs, which he claims she, quote, refuses to have house or crate trained, allegedly leaving damage throughout the house from dog urine, and claiming that, quote, every area of the house is constantly filled with dog feces. On March 19th, Dumontet claims he, quote, found that the dogs had urinated all over some very valuable, irreplicable, and sentimental items of his. He alleges that when he went to confront Quinn, he discovered more of a mess and claims she refused to clean further. The declaration claims in part, at that point, Mr. Dumontet grabbed the trash bag from the floor and threw it to the side of the room, against the wall. Mr. Dumontet did not throw the bag towards Ms. Quinn, or their son. Additionally, there was no glass in the bag, as there was no broken glass in the room or anywhere in the house. He then claims, per the declaration, that Quinn took their son out of the room, and shortly after, police arrived on the scene. In the documents, Dumontet alleges via his attorney that Quinn had, quote, filed a false police report that fabricated allegations of domestic violence in an attempt to gain an upper hand in potential divorce and custody proceedings, claiming, Mr. Dumontet has never threatened violence and never engaged in any acts that could be construed as violence towards Ms. Quinn. The filings come 1 week after the pair's alleged domestic dispute on the 19th. Officers responded to the scene on that afternoon, and Dumontet was booked on a felony charge. A Los Angeles Police Department spokesperson told NBC News at the time, victim and suspect were involved in a domestic dispute when the suspect threw a bag which had a glass bottle in it at the victim, ultimately missing the victim. That object struck a child at the location, adding that the suspect was ultimately arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Quinn claims in her declaration that her son was taken to the hospital via ambulance after paramedics, quote, informed me our son had what they described as a hematoma, and that he allegedly also had, quote, cuts on his neck and head from broken glass. The following day, March 19th, Dumontet was released from jail on $30,000 bail, following the alleged domestic violence incident. An LAPD spokesperson told Access Hollywood that he was arrested again hours later, this time for allegedly violating an emergency protective order. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department booking records show that Dumontet was taken into custody late that night and released on another $30,000 bail the following morning. In her declaration as part of her restraining order request, Quinn claims that she was staying at a hotel when she received a notification on her phone from her household security system detecting someone on the premises, and then saw Dumontet on camera going through the house for approximately a half hour, in violation of the emergency protective order. In her filing, Quinn requested that a judge grant her sole legal and physical custody of their child, while Dumontet requested in his that he and Quinn be granted joint legal and physical custody. Both spouses additionally requested orders to prevent child abduction from each party. Dumontet requested his on the grounds that Quinn allegedly has a history of threatening, taking away, or hiding their child and not cooperating with him in parenting, while Quinn alleged that Dumontet had a history of the same, in addition to alleged abuse of her, child abuse, and taking away or hiding their child from her. Quinn additionally requested a judge make child and spousal support orders, and ordered Dumontet to go to a batterer intervention program. According to a court document obtained by Access Hollywood, LA County Superior Court has ordered both Quinn and Dumontet to participate in mediation to discuss custody and visitation for their child, with the mediation date set for April 11th. Access Hollywood can also confirm that the pair have a court hearing scheduled for next month. Neither Quinn nor Dumontet has publicly spoken on their legal situation or the allegations made within their filings as of Wednesday afternoon, and Access Hollywood has reached out to reps for both parties for comment.